Project B is turning heads, man, after Sophie Cunningham went on her podcast to spill the beans, allegedly, about her not joining. Guys, for this one here, we got to go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. Hope everybody's having a great day today. We got to talk about Project B. We got to talk about Caitlin Clark. Now, we know a deal was put on the table behind closed doors for a lot of these WNBA players. We're talking upwards of $2 to $3 million being involved with.
Get ready, because the most unbelievable, jaw-dropping Project B footage has just surfaced. And if this is real, Caitlin Clark may never forgive what it's about to expose. A revelation so explosive just hit the internet that it's shaking the entire sports world to its core. At the center of the storm is Project B co-founder Grady Burnett, a man who follows almost no one on social media, someone who practically lives off the digital grid. Yet now he's been caught in the most incriminating way possible through his own ultra-private, rarely touched following list. And here's the twist no one saw coming. That tiny list includes Caitlin Clark herself and her official foundation. This isn't rumor. This isn't speculation. This is solid, provable evidence, a direct, undeniable link that obliterates every narrative we've ever been sold about Clark having zero involvement with Project B. Someone just blew the doors off what was carefully engineered to stay hidden in the shadows, and the ripple effect of this leak is going to be massive. Because this one piece of information doesn't just raise questions, it rewrites the entire story. It shifts the ground beneath everything fans thought they understood, and now the fallout is spiraling into a full-blown firestorm that's about to set the entire sports world on absolute chaos.
$1 billion being involved with signing players. Now, we know that this thing is backed by the Saudis. I'm here to tell you, they got endless pockets. And once again, your boy got to let it be known. Your Majesties, if you need anybody to commentate some games, I'm available, dog. Now, I'm here to tell you, a lot of players have signed. Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie Cunningham, and a host of others. Now, those are the only two Indiana Fever players that had signed on the dotted line to join Project B and get that bag. Now, Sophie Cunningham did a podcast, and she pretty much confirmed for the most.
This entire situation detonates just weeks after Sophie Cunningham, yes, Caitlin Clark's own Indiana Fever teammate, sat on her podcast and delivered what everyone believed was the final word. She didn't just hint, she didn't just suggest, she flat out declared that Caitlin would absolutely, unquestionably, without even a sliver of doubt, not be joining Project B. Her tone carried the weight of certainty, the kind meant to slam the door shut on every rumor still floating around. It felt official, definitive, like the kind of statement crafted to end the conversation permanently. But here's the thing, the internet never forgets, and the truth has a habit of clawing its way into the light no matter how tightly someone tries to lock it away. And now, when you rewind and replay Sophie's bold proclamation, it suddenly feels less like insider honesty and a whole lot more like a calculated deflection. A carefully scripted diversion meant to steer everyone's eyes in the wrong direction. A masterful piece of misdirection designed to scatter the crowd right before the real story erupted.
For the most part, allegedly, that Caitlin Clark would not be joining. Now, I'm sorry to rain on y'all parade, but that means absolutely nothing. She said she wasn't going to join a week or two ago when she spoke to Andy Constable at the golf event. That means absolutely nothing. You want to know something I learned from investigating, reporting, and following all this stuff to tell you guys, you know, you just follow the line. See, one thing about working in media is you follow the lines and you follow.
And then the plot thickens into something almost surreal. The irony of Sophie's proclamation becomes laughably stark once you trace her own recent moves. Just a week or two before she went on that podcast and insisted Caitlin would never join Project B, Sophie herself publicly claimed she wouldn't be signing on either. Yet the paperwork, the hard, verifiable kind, tells a very different story. She quietly inked the deal and officially joined the league. That glaring mismatch between what she loudly declared and what she ultimately did makes her scoop about Caitlin ring painfully hollow. It starts to feel less like a well-meaning denial and more like a deliberate smokescreen, a performance meant to obscure the choreography happening behind the curtain. This isn't a simple change of heart. It reads like choreography, a calculated, strategic pivot that begs for deeper scrutiny from anyone trying to untangle who's really calling the shots.
See, y'all see who this is? This is Grady Burnett. Y'all don't know who this is, but some of y'all might. Grady Burnett don't have a follow from nobody. Nobody. He's the co-founder of Project B. He's the man with the plan. Co-founder of Project B. Now, let's see whose grade he's following. He's only following 1,200 people. Let's see who grade he's following.
So what exactly is the unstoppable force pulling players toward Project B like a gravitational vortex? It all comes down to one thing, the mind-blowing, almost surreal mountain of money being thrown onto the table. We're talking initial signing bonuses hitting a jaw-dropping $2 to $3 million simply for agreeing to ink your name on a contract. A number so massive it doesn't just overshadow standard WNBA salaries, it obliterates them. Reports say players are being offered triple, yes triple, what they currently make in their long-established leagues. That kind of astronomical jump isn't something you shrug off. This isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about generational wealth, the kind of financial life shift that could alter not just careers, but entire family legacies. With stakes that massive, any hesitation from players suddenly feels less like moral principle and far more like negotiation theater, strategic posturing, or maybe even quiet, behind-the-scenes dealings the public was never meant to see.
Caitlin Clark and the Caitlin Clark Foundation. Oh, he's following them. Who else is he following? Is he following Sophie? Oh, he's definitely following Sophie. He's following Sophie. Now, mind you, no one follows him. See, Caitlin's not following him. And Sophie's not following him either. Sophie don't follow him either. I say that.
But this leads us straight into one of the most baffling enigmas in the entire unfolding drama. Who, or what, is actually bankrolling this financial powerhouse known as Project B? The stories surrounding its funding aren't just unclear, they're completely splintered, creating a labyrinth of whispers, contradictions, and unanswered questions. While the public narrative and much of the media chatter insists the league is fueled by deep Saudi pockets with seemingly infinite wealth, Sophie Cunningham once again dropped a curveball that sent everyone spiraling. She boldly claimed that Project B isn't tied to Saudi money at all, but is instead backed by 4 colossal tech companies, recognizable giants with resources that could practically print gold. Household names, as she described them. Companies with a ton of money, according to her own words. That stark, head-on contradiction between what insiders imply and what Sophie insists adds yet another electrifying layer to this mystery. It forces a new question to the surface. Is someone deliberately shaping the narrative about where Project B's fortune really comes from? And if so, why? To dodge backlash? To steer public opinion? To shield the league from geopolitical controversy? Whatever the motive, the tension is unmistakable. And just when you think you've reached the center of this maze, the plot twists again.
See, Caitlin's not following him. And Sophie's not following him either. Sophie don't follow him either. I say that to say what Sophie is saying means absolutely nothing. Means nothing. Nothing. Because like I stated, she stated a week prior that she wasn't going to join Project B.
It's a league. So the W season goes from May to October for people who don't know. In this league...
Let's talk about Project B, because this isn't your average league. Far from it. This is an unprecedented, audacious, global basketball experiment stretching across 7 markets worldwide. Picture this. 2 markets in Asia, 2 in Europe, 2 more across North and South America, and a 7th location placed strategically elsewhere, creating a truly international circuit unlike anything we've ever seen. But here's where it gets really groundbreaking. Project B is intentionally designed so players aren't chained to exhausting year-round schedules. Instead, they travel the world, immerse themselves in new cultures, and play a refreshing and manageable amount of basketball, just enough to stay competitive without pushing themselves to the brink of burnout. And because the league functions as an off-season alternative, it stands apart from newer ventures like Unrivaled. It gives athletes something they've been begging for: elite compensation, global exposure, and a genuinely balanced lifestyle. This player-first model isn't just new, it's a total game changer. One that's redefining what women's professional basketball can look like.